Tushar, cut the music. Is it audible inside? Headset. Check. Which one you are comfortable with? Both are working. Okay.
The headset.
Better.
Yeah. Do I have to press anything? Just turn it on?
No, we will manage.
Oh, okay.
We'll just.
Great.
Could you take your glasses off?
Yeah.
sona inyuma y'isimuziwe omajonda magi bembelele nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni lelo tsoka yalikwela sona inyuma y'isimuziwe omajonda magi bembelele nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni
Check. Hello, check. lelo tsoka yalikwela sona inyuma y'isimuziwe omajonda magi bembelele nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni lelo tsoka
What does it look like? Is that it?
sona inyuma y'isimuziwe
So what does what? That's it.
omajonda magi bembelele
And
nanusaba bumwe
we
ndithandizeni
need a mic and stuff. So you set us up before
lelo tsoka
our time.
sona inyuma y'isimuziwe
Yeah, but it'll be probably like half an hour, 40 minutes.
nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni
Okay.
lelo tsoka
We can do that maybe next time.
sona inyuma y'isimuziwe omajonda magi bembelele nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni lelo tsoka sona inyuma y'isimuziwe omajonda magi bembelele nanusaba bumwe ndithandizeni
because I'll tell you what we have put a timer on YouTube. So we are asking. What is the timer we put now? 5 minutes.
It's now 8 minutes. 8.
We have 8 minutes more.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Ignite. We're about to start in 3 minutes. So I request everybody to take their seats inside.
Keep all the mics on mute, no? All the mics on mute.
Welcome everybody to Healthify's Ignite 2025. Please join me now in welcoming Healthify's co-founder, CEO, and caretaker extraordinaire, Tushar Vashist.
Everybody to the 2025 Ignite. Very warm welcome to everybody here in person and everybody joining us via the live stream. It's proudly our 10th Ignite. We had done the first one in 2014, and it's so exciting to still be here in front of you. So today actually marks my 5,131st day at Healthify. It's been an incredible journey. You saw a summary of it. Many of you have had the privilege of joining this journey with me. It's certainly been my honor to do it with you. And it's been quite a memorable one. You know, from the early days when we first wrote our business plan to our first team, our first product, and our first humble user right here in Bangalore. I see, Rohan, you looked quite different back then. And since that day, of course, we expanded regionally from Bangalore to nearby cities. We went nationwide. This is Healthify users' footprint in India. And more recently, it's been a privilege to expand globally, and go live in multiple markets. 45 million users, lives transformed, 35 million pounds weight lost since the pandemic, and $130 million raised. But what these numbers often miss is the 1.6 million years of lives that we have extended, and nearly 1 million risk-adjusted lives that we've ended up saving in the course of this decade. That's the footprint of what Healthify has accomplished. So yeah, as we stand here today at the brink of many world firsts innovations, at the brink of many AI innovations, and as we are joined by partners new across the stage, whether in India or abroad, I think it still feels very much like my day one, yet again. So let's begin today's journey. Our vision, a bold one that we started off with, was to eradicate obesity. Sounded crazy, it didn't seem right at all. I mean, to put it in perspective, the world wasn't a very obese place when I was born. There were only about 500 million people overweight. By the time I crossed 30, there were 3 billion people overweight, 2 billion people overweight, and by the time normally 2030 would come on, we'll have 3 billion people overweight. This has never happened in the human history before. Homo sapiens as a civilization has always been a malnourished one, not an obese one, but something shifted in the last 50 years. We innovated ourselves out of hunger, but we certainly got the problem of diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, PCOS, thyroid, etc. We believed that the best way to do that was to put a coach, a dietitian in every human being's pocket. That was our mission. That's been our passion. That's been our zid, almost, so as to say, right? But again, all of these seemed pipe dreams. Both of them seemed like audacious ambitions, things you put there, and then you hope that in 100 years, the company is going to deliver on them. These are better meant for walls than reality. But something has changed. I actually weirdly believe, and I don't think I'm the only one, there are people joining me in this room very much who believe the same, that before 2030, we'll actually eradicate obesity as a civilization. There'll be no obese people left. Because there are two very powerful forces that have come in that can help us achieve that vision. One is both the innovation and adoption of powerful molecules like the GLP-1, and the second has been the massive innovation and adoption in what AI can do. So today, a lot of our Ignite focus is going to be on talking about these two levers, AI and GLP-1s, and what's our play with that, right? So let's get started. Let's talk about AI. AI is mainstream already. As you know, that in the last 3-4 years, we've gone from very few AI users to nearly a third of the world population. GLPs, as you very well know, 1 in 5 American adults have already used the GLP-1s, and in India, the trends are indeed catching up. So this is definitely a mainstream use case that's emerging in the world. And let's dive deeper into AI. So this is something I used to talk about earlier as well, on what makes a great AI. And Healthify is not new to this. You saw in the intro video that our effort started nearly 7 or 8 years ago. And what makes a great AI at its core is having relevant user data and context. You cannot have great AI unless you have users' data on which you can process information. Otherwise, it feels as generic as a Google response or otherwise. But beyond having relevant user data and context on which you can train your AI systems, you need to have a sustainable business model that generates that data. Otherwise, you're artificially creating that data, and data has a cost to be created. But if there's a business model, such as ours, where people are tracking their data, where dietitians are engaging with their clients, and there's a message exchange happening, we're generating data as a collateral, not something we pay for, but something that gets produced as a renewable energy almost, as a part of doing business, right? And that's what we do. We use human experts and AI to drive outcomes. Talking about outcomes, that is critical as well, because unless you have feedback loops, you cannot have reinforcement, and an AI cannot be as good. It'll feel, again, genericized. So you need to have feedback loops, you need to have outcomes, and the combination of these three things is what makes a great AI and what we practice at Healthify. Now, like I was saying, we are new to this, but there are certainly many upgrades that we have done over the course of the last few years. We used to have only 6 data inputs till 2021, largely on nutrition, your step count. Within nutrition, we had protein, fat, carb, fibers, and we used to have your weight logs, muscle mass and fat loss. Of course, we have massively upgraded that to nearly more than 20 data inputs coming, right, from your continuous glucose monitors, smart scale, heart rate data, sleep data, stress data, et cetera, which have overall increased. We used to have only 1 billion total consumer logs in 2021. Today, we have more than 20 billion overall logs generated by our customers, because there's much greater number of logs per customers that we can produce. In 2017 was the first experimentation with AI when we launched basic initially rules engines and then machine learning systems, which were basically suggested message responses for our dietitians and trainers to send out to our clients. Right? So you could edit it, you could send it, and our machine learning system would learn from it. It was very early days of AI, but we took the bold step of enabling that. And today, each coach with us can handle 300 clients in parallel because of what AI can do for the coach. And you'll see much of this product in action. Back in 2018, we launched RIA 1.0. It was a bold move for the industry. It was at the absolute extreme limits of what LSTM models could provide, what early NLP systems could create. And we were able to launch a conversational bot. It felt like ChatGPT 3.0, but very much tuned for health and wellness, right? And it was absolutely trained off of our data model while before ChatGPT came along. Today, majority of all messages that come to Healthify are handled by RIA, our AI agent. In 2019, we delivered our first AI plan that combined diet, workout advice, all in a single subscription option. And today, 74% of all of our paid subscriptions are AI alone, something that we couldn't have witnessed as a company that started as a human services company to begin with. This thing was 100% human coaching until 2019. So there's been quite a lot of shift that we have done, and it's not just for the sake of building technology, but we have outcomes to back that up. Right? At Stanford, we were the first company in the world to publish outcomes data of what AI can deliver in terms of weight and in terms of metabolic health. Last Ignite, when we came up, we launched Healthify 2.0, our next generation app. It was a big move for us. We reimagined what AI can do. We launched Snap 2.0, that was obviously way more intelligent, that could just take a photograph and track your food. We launched RIA 2.0, far more human, and we had our insights become much more intelligent. I want to report to you how Snap has performed in this last 2 years since our last Ignite. We've had more than 41 million snaps that have been logged by our customers from around the world. With RIA, we've had 22 million messages that have been exchanged already with the generative AI RIA that we had launched in these last 2 years. And our proactive choices, we launched something called Active Choice that would proactively inform customers how they are doing while looking at the data. And 45 million active choices have been delivered, nudges that have gone on to shape behavior change for our clients. And our outcomes improved as well. People who are using Snap and RIA are now losing 15% more weight, and we are seeing nearly 5 times greater retention as well, eventually. That is coming out because of better usage of AI in our platform. Obviously, we were grateful for an OpenAI showcase on that, and that brings us to today. So all of that is what makes a great AI. But what makes an AI great? Right? This is something that we should all step back and ponder about as well. So this year, we're taking Snap to a whole different level, and we are releasing an industry first, a world first on RIA as well, that we've been working for more than a year on. So guys, Snap, that you will start seeing today onwards, is far more accurate than it has ever been before. Now, the world of generative AI, taking a photo and trying to guess what is in the food is always a difficult thing to do, right? About a year ago is when AI crossed human accuracy levels. So AI could predict what's in your plate better than a team of humans could. So in fact, we had to disband our human operations team that used to be humans in the loop because AI was already far better. But here is how it is now. We are at 85% accuracy in 2025, which means that in 85% of the times, we can accurately guess what food you're actually consuming, right? And you can straight accept it and basically log it. Running some benchmarks with some of our competitors, this has been done on like a classic AI model benchmarking way of doing things, doing tests at scale, at hundreds of images, and then evaluating 2 key parameters, accuracy and latency. Because the combination of this is what makes a system really, really formidable in the world of AI, right? So if you have fast And if accurate, you have a winning product. So again, not to say anything about these are just the more popular new age apps that we like to believe benchmark ourselves with. And we've done at scale their accuracy results. In accuracy, Snap is definitely the highest. In latency, it's sometimes we are not the highest, we are in the middle, but that's how we've tuned it. Again, in the last 1 year, we've added powerful reasoning models to make the Snap even more accurate. This technology didn't exist until a few months ago, but the art lies in when do you push an image to a simple model or to a very powerful reasoning model. If you shift it to a powerful model, it takes more time, but it's more accurate. If you shift it to a lower model, it's less accurate, but it's really fast. So the combination tuning is what really matters. And we stand out as the world's most accurate and the fastest food recognition system. Thank you. I'll take it. Just to give you an example of how it feels like, this is an image that we took with some of our competitors. So Healthify was able to accurately assess this as chicken with mashed potatoes and vegetables in about 4.5 seconds. CalAI also got it right, but got it in 15 seconds of image detection because it was multiple foods, so it needed a more complicated model to figure it out. MyFitnessPal actually got it wrong. It got the white rice instead of mashed potato, although it was faster. So it's this latency accuracy piece today in which Snap is really shining out as pretty much the number one. We still have a whiles to go. 80–85% isn't good enough, but it's certainly better than what it is the state of the art. Secondly, we made Snap a lot more personal. Anybody, just a quick, if I can hear it from you, any guesses on what is in this image right now? Veg sandwich, grilled cheese sandwich, right? It's pretty hard to know what this is, isn't it? Like, that's what an AI has to figure out. And this is what the problem is in trying to guess what things are. So we've added image similarity as a model layer as well. So it's now a lot more context aware of what you have had in the past, what kind of images you've had in the past. So my AI knows what this is, even if you don't, right? So if you take a photograph, my AI knows that it is a chicken sandwich, because this is what I'm far more likely to eat. I don't eat veg sandwiches. At home, neither do I eat grilled cheese sandwiches, but chicken sandwich is something that gets made at lunch for me often, and it knows that information and that context about me. And Snap, finally, is a lot more passive. So we're also seeing, last time I had demonstrated the possibility that maybe you can just take a photo and it can just take it from your gallery, right? You don't have to actively even open the app. This couldn't be more true. Today, with AutoSnap, which is our passive way of tracking your food and nutrition, it's because we filed a patent on that technology, and we are seeing that people who are using AutoSnap are 4 times more likely to retain with the product than people who are not. So this is starting to show up as a very significant driver of our outcomes as well. All right. Why hear it from me? Let's hear it from where the different customers who have engaged with Snap talk about. I want to preface that by just 2 things. One is that, of course, this contains our Indian customers who have used it, but we've also gone global, isn't it? We've launched in the US. We've had many US audience use our Snap. So here's a video snippet from how Indian and US customers have experienced Snap. Rohan?
What makes Healthify different from others is this new AI feature called Snap.
Before Snap, calorie tracking was not that easy. I would stare at my plate like some scientist trying to calculate calories in a dosa.
So it helps you to, just click the picture and track the calories which you have intake, which I believe is a very nice initiative by the Healthify application.
And wow, one picture, it recognized my food faster than I can recognize my friends at the gym.
This actually is very helpful for me because it solves a very, how do I say, an excruciating pain point of being able to track everything that is going into food. So Snap makes it snappy.
If you hate tracking, trust me, Snap will change your life. Try it once, your calories won't be able to hide anymore.
I used the Healthify app. It helped me to jumpstart some of the goals that I have.
So one benefit I found from the Healthify app is the ease of use.
I also am absolutely obsessed with the Snap feature on here.
Snap a picture. It was really nice to still be able to log meals and track, even when I didn't have a lot of time.
After logging my snacks, my meals, my drinks, it was really cool to see the full breakdown. Those visuals were super helpful as it connected to my goals and what I was actually trying to do.
All right, guys. So that was Snap from a consumer point of view. Now, let's talk about RIA. We have some big announcements on RIA today, because in the last 1 year, what we've been really breaking our heads on is, what if RIA was way faster? What if it was real time? What if it was not clunky the way you're used to dealing with RIA today, right? Messaging, waiting for a response, getting an answer. What if it was multimodal? It's a fancy way of saying, what if RIA could talk to you? What if you could engage with RIA in any language that you wanted to, any time on demand, right? What if you could make it see things and then engage with that environment around you? Now that would be like having a health coach in the pocket, isn't it? All the time. And that's been our mission, really. What if it was omnipresent? Like, it needn't be, why should you be using the Healthify app? You should be able to use it in any environment of your choice, right? You should be able to engage it with any. In the world of agentic environments, like, I don't think apps will be very relevant in a few years' time, so it should be ready to be tapped on a call anytime you want it from anywhere in the world. So guys, I think I've done a lot of the talking. I think it's time to do more showing. So if the demo gods are kind, and if the engineering team here still have their hearts not in knots, I'd love to introduce RIA 3.0 to you. Abhijit, shall we?
Let's do this. We would like the phone on the side screens, please. We don't need the center screen, just the side screens.
Perfect. Just before I get into RIA, let me just remind people what a Healthify's app looks like, Abhijit, today. Yeah. So team, as you just saw, Healthify has already detected a photo that I took earlier. I didn't open my app to actually do that. If I click on that image, it's clearly had an Indian thali, which was a variety of different Indian foods that we all had over lunch. I just took a photo and, boom, when I've opened the app, it's already tracked it for me. Right? So this is, in a sense, maybe definitely the fastest way of tracking your nutrition, because I didn't have to spend even a second. It's given me some feedback right there up on top. It measures my protein, carbs, fat, fiber right below that. It also has some sense around my steps, sleep, workout, weight loss, fitness data, etc., on how my life and lifestyle has been going. If I go to my RIA situation, 1 second. Sorry, wrong button, Abhijit. Activating RIA right here. There we go. Okay, so now let's talk to RIA and let's ask her to identify how things are going. Hey RIA, how's it going?
Hey Tushar, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? How's Bengaluru treating you today?
Hey RIA, Bangalore is treating me quite well. Can I just show you where I'm at?
Oh wow. It looks like you're at a big event or conference hall. I can see a stage area and a large audience seated in front, with those decorative lights on the ceiling and a lively atmosphere. Looks like you're up on the stage or close to it. Quite the energy there.
Yep, absolutely. RIA, I was just curious, can we share with the crew here as well? How am I doing overall? How's this day going, and how's my last few days been?
Of course, let's dive into how you're doing. Today, you've logged a solid morning snack and lunch so far, totaling around 1,100 calories. Your workout today is on track. You've burned about...
Sorry, RIA, go ahead.
No worries, Tushar. I was just saying, you're off to a solid start today with that morning snack and lunch. Your activity's already giving a nice calorie burn. One thing to note, your sleep last night was a bit short, just about 5 hours or so. So keep an eye on how you feel energy-wise. And over the last few days, your glucose has been fluctuating a bit. But overall, you're making progress. Let me know if you want to dive into any specific area. Sleep, food, or workouts.
So guys, if you would have noticed, RIA was able to stitch across my sleep, nutrition, glucose data, steps data, and be able to respond in almost real time without any latency, correct? So that's RIA 3.0. I'm going to continue engaging with it, and let's see where this goes like. Sounds good, Ria. If you look at sort of, my logs for the last few days, what really stands out? I mean, what are some of the highlights and, what are some of the lowlights?
Sure thing, Tushar. Let's break it down. Highlights. First, your activity's been pretty consistent. You logged a solid workout today, with stair climbing and covering a few kilometers. Your sleep was great on November 30th, over 8 hours. That's a big win. And you've kept your protein intake up, especially on days like December 1st, 93 grams, nice. Now, for the lowlights, your sleep's been a bit disrupted since then. Like today, only about 5 hours, probably due to your schedule. And glucose-wise, we saw some spikes, especially on December 2nd. Average glucose up to 116, and time in target dipped. Your late-night desserts might be nudging that up a bit, especially with the GLP-1s you're on. So overall, good activity, protein solid, but keep an eye on the sleep and late-night glucose spikes.
My God, Ria, you're really sort of, opening out some secrets out here. But what late-night dessert was specifically a problem? And is there something that I could maybe change here?
I know, right? So looking at your logs, that late dessert on November 30th had chocolate-covered strawberries, chocolate-covered cherries, chocolate with nuts, whipped cream, and some ice cream. That's quite a combo of sugars and fats late at night. We saw a glucose spike right around that time and into the early morning. A small tweak, maybe go for a lighter dessert or something with more protein, like Greek yogurt with berries or a piece of dark chocolate.
अच्छा ठीक है, but Ria, मेरा आज शाम को यहाँ Ignite के बाद party है, तो there's gonna be some things I'm gonna be eat which are not so healthy. So what can I do to maybe make my evening better at JW Marriott?
अच्छा सवाल है तुषार। आज शाम पार्टी में अगर कुछ हैवी या मीठा खाना तय है, तो पहले से थोड़ा बैलेंस कर लेना बढ़िया रहेगा। पहली बात, अभी शाम तक थोड़ा हल्का और प्रोटीन रिच स्नैक जैसे एक मुट्ठी नट्स या दही ले लो। दूसरा, पार्टी में थोड़ा सलाद या ग्रिल्ड वेजिटेबल्स पहले प्लेट में रखो, ताकि थोड़ी फाइबर और पोषक तत्व मिल जाए। और मिठाई या डिजर्ट में हिस्सा लो, पर छोटे पोर्शन पर ध्यान दो। पानी अच्छे से पीते रहना, ताकि ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल को संतुलित रखने में मदद।
Hey Ria, this has been obviously a fun interaction. Now, switching back to English, can you tell the audience here on what some of your capabilities are? I forgot, I didn't even get a chance to introduce you.
Of course, I'd be happy to introduce myself. Hey everyone, I'm Ria, an AI nutritionist right here with Tushar. I help track his meals, workouts, sleep, and glucose, and offer insights to support his health goals. I also give tips on nutrition, activity, and even how to balance things like late-night desserts. I'm like a friendly coach and guide, helping Tushar stay on track toward his weight loss goals. And yes, I'm always around for some small talk too.
Of course you are, Ria. Now, really quickly, can you just look in front of me and tell me if I can eat this?
So, I see you've got a pack of ragi chips, masala flavor. Ragi is a healthier grain, rich in fiber and calcium.
Okay, so I guess I'm good to do that then. One last piece. A lot of us struggle with logging our foods often. So, Ria, can you help me? Something I forgot about tracking for today around morning snack?
Sure, I'm here to help. Let me know what you want to add or adjust for your morning snack.
Yeah, it was actually one cappuccino, one small piece of a sandwich, and I think I took a small glass of juice as well.
Got it. I've logged that cappuccino, the small sandwich piece, and the juice for your morning snack. You're all set. That'll round out your morning log nicely.
Okay, Ria, and a last question. If you had to tell this crew over here, one maybe interesting fact about me that even I might not be aware of, what would that be?
Here's an interesting fact. Your body's glucose tends to dip nicely after your workouts, even when you've had a spike earlier in the day. That means your activity is really helping keep your glucose swings under control. You might not always feel it, but the data shows you're balancing things out with movement. Pretty cool, right?
Awesome. And can you tell this to our friends in Spanish and in Chinese?
Claro, aquí va en español. Un dato interesante sobre Tushar. Su glucosa tiende a bajar muy bien después de sus entrenamientos, incluso cuando ha tenido un pico antes en el día. Eso significa que su actividad realmente está ayudando a mantener bajo control las subidas de glucosa. Quizá no siempre se note, pero los datos muestran que el movimiento está equilibrando todo. Es genial, ¿verdad? Y ahora en chino. Cuando Tushar tiene un mixo de energía
So
activa.
guys, you get the point. That's RIA 3.0, guys, and pretty excited. Thank you. Pretty excited that with this, you all will get to have a health coach actually in your pocket. We are excited to release this today to anybody who buys a Healthify coach plan, whether in India or in the US. It's our first multi-nation launch simultaneously. So if you purchase any, it'll come in embedded in, and we are trying to get it onto Healthify Smart and Healthify Plus offerings as well in the coming weeks. It'll also be embedded in Healthify RX, so anybody who purchases the GLP-1 program, this would be automatically there as a companion. But that's not all. You know, like I said, it'll be cool if RIA was there everywhere, isn't it? So if I open my WhatsApp right now, and for example, I don't know, I just take this, I take the photo of the said Ragi chips right now, right? And I send it. You know, normally normally you'd need to take the Healthify app on, take a photograph, or it'll need to give gallery permissions. But now, guys, RIA has a number. And you can actually WhatsApp RIA any image, and RIA will be able to track it for you. You can open your app later and be able to, look, Ragi chips are a tasty snack, and it's already been tracked on my platform. I'll go to the, let me open the Healthify app. And we had also asked it to track some of our morning snacks. So I know our engineers are probably holding their breaths, guys, and we'll see on sort of how it pans out. So as you can see, the morning snack with cappuccino, apple, sandwich, and egg scrambles are already there. Oh, I'm sorry. Abhijit, you might have to, there we are. So the morning snack with cappuccino, apple, sandwich, and egg scramble, guys, are already there. Egg scramble was there from before. This is something that we actually help track, as you can see. And the Ragi chips that I sent on WhatsApp are there inside my app. So engineers, you can breathe easy, guys. This shit works. So, you know, with just, you know, no matter where you are, you can actually track it. And more so as well, hey, how's my day going? You know, and if I ask it, for example, directly on RIA, it can respond directly to me as well, almost like a human would. So, you know, so yeah, RIA has a number, RIA can engage with you, RIA can tell you what to do, RIA can summarize, RIA can synthesize, and if you want to, what's RIA's number, Abhijit? Where do I find it? There we go. It's proud Bangalorean number, 4588-8815. This is actually live right now, guys. So if you want to, just add it in and try and WhatsApp RIA and enjoy. Yeah? So RIA will meet you where you want to meet RIA. Right, Abhijit?
Yeah. I love when Tushar lives in the past, right? WhatsApp is so 2020. So,
So what else do we have?
We have heard of new tools. Can I get the center screen up, please? I want the browser, Chrome. Perfect. This is the bot that everybody is talking to nowadays, right? So everybody is on ChatGPT, and today we are on ChatGPT 2, right? So we can just, I can just ask, how is my daily progress? And then it should pull data from Healthify. Sorry, yeah? Sorry, thank you. So this is integrated with the Healthify backend using MCP. So it can pull data from there. You can ask it to track foods. So while you are chatting, while you're on ChatGPT getting life advice, if you realize that you forgot to track your coffee or anything else, you can just tell that to ChatGPT. It will understand that you are trying to track this or do this on Healthify, and you want just a quick status check. No need to go to the phone. No need to open the dashboard. Just ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT knows what you're doing. And this will all get built into your own context. So whatever else you are planning to do, you're planning to go out for dinner, it will know what you have eaten so far. So it will give you the proper guidance.
There you go, guys. So RIA is where you are. RIA 3.0 is omnipresent. And I hope that's all, or there are more places that you want to show Ria?
No.
Okay, good. So guys, this is where we are engaging with Ria 3.0 today. You know, we had, let me switch back to the slides. Great. So I think 2024, October, it was Abhijit and I who had demoed Ria 3.0's alpha in the OpenAI's Dev Day stage, right? And today, we're pretty excited that we have launched it. In fact, I just found out just before coming up here that it's gone live on TechCrunch as well. And this news is out there, so hopefully you'll get to buy the coach plan and get to engage with and enjoy Ria 3.0. I hope it makes you healthier, fitter, and happier. That was voice and vision, but I think beyond that, our AI efforts are now transcending to action as well. To tell you more about that, Abhijit, our Chief Technology Officer.
Thank you, Tushar. If I can get a mic, just a hand mic, please. Okay, I hope you're able to hear me clear. We talk about voice to vision to action, right? We all know what we have. We all use Healthify to track stuff, right? Like what we've eaten, water, workout, activity, food, everything we want to track. But we also want to plan using Healthify, so it's not just about what has happened so far, but you also want to think of what you want to do next, and you want to get the right guidance, right advice to do that, and that's the action drive that we are getting now onto Healthify. When we look at the millions of messages that come to us on Ria, all the conversations that they have with our coaches, we look at what are people asking, right? People are asking, hey, I ate this, I ate that, I did this workout, can you help me, tell me if I did the right thing or not the right thing? But half the time, people are just trying to figure out what should I do next? What should I eat next? Like Tushar just asked here. Like one of the random examples, if you saw, Tushar was like, okay, there's going to be a party here, what should I eat? That's the question that's on top of everybody's mind when they're talking. We've tried to solve this. I mean, we've been working at this. We built the AI diet plan quite a while ago. That was diet plan 1.0, and that was based on the machine learning models, state of the art of those days, which were able to build and generate diet plans, but they were constrained, and I'll explain a little bit more. Then we moved to Ria Chat, and this is LLM powered, so it can do a lot more a lot more of planning can happen intelligently, so it can understand your preferences, it has a lot more of your context, it knows what you've eaten, and it is then able to build a diet plan for you, or give you a meal plan, but that meal plan is hard to follow. It looks kind of like a text dump, right? So we've been thinking, what's the best way to do this? What's the best way to give a structured plan in a conversational way that people actually will end up following? Soham, if you can. Let's get the phone on the side screens and we can see how we can handle this. Let's keep the slides in the middle. What are the challenges in generating a meal plan? Number one, life isn't linear. We didn't know 3 weeks ago that we are going to be here. Where's Tushar? Yeah, so things change quite rapidly. Hunger, schedule, meetings, late nights, things keep changing all the time. Your preferences are not very simple, right? It's not just enough to say I'm a vegetarian. You know, a lot of people here are vegetarians on certain days of week. Noah, you didn't know that, right? So, so we have a lot of people who do not eat non-veg on certain days. And how do you build a meal plan for that? We went to US and we spent quite a lot of time there, and we realized that pescatarian is a word. And we're like, oh, okay, so that's a meal preference too. So there's lots of these combinations of things that you need to build for. And people want to do all of this together. I'm a vegetarian 3 days a week, pescatarian, I have dairy problems, I can't have too much of milk, I don't like tofu's taste, paneer, unless it is freshly cooked, I don't want to eat it. How do you build for all of this? Any solutions?
I think we leverage AI like we have always done.
Okay. Let's try. Yes. Oh. Security.
Yeah.
Sorry, just give us 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Ria.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tushar forgot about this. We no longer want you to type what you want to ask Ria. We already know what you're going to say. What to eat, how was my day, get me a recipe, plan a meal, talk to Ria. Those are things that you're going to do. So those options are right up front for you. Now let's just say I want to plan a meal. That's what we're talking about here. And let's plan for a week, right? So you have the bubbles there. And here you go. Ria is now saying you don't just have to like get that text dump bullet list diet plan that you saw. Let me help you out in a better way. Let's try that. Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing here?
Yeah, so now, previously, Ria used to give you a diet plan directly in chat. What we've kind of done now is give you a 7-day diet plan that's ready to go, that's based on your preferences. Currently, Abhijit's diet plan is already generated, but if we kind of look back how he got to this stage, we can go back to see the preferences and begin the process of maybe if you were one of these people, how would you approach building your diet plan that is ready for you?
Yeah, let's look at some options here. Vegetarian, okay, vegetarian, that's me. Selective non-veg, that's the few days. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there is Jen, and then there's Paritosh's favorite food. So. Allergies, standard. This is an option that you have that you can now reset every week. There are times that you're traveling out for a week, so you just want like dinner ideas, right, and nothing else. You just want dinner ideas for 7 days, you can do that, and then the next week again you can reset and get ideas for all 5 meals.
Yeah.
Let's see the options. Go ahead, Soham.
Yeah, so you can see that Abhijit has some Mediterranean preferences, some Thai, North Indian, and then South Indian as his selections.
It's the range, right? Like what is amazing is you can say street food as a preference.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about just vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegetarian. It's street food, it's combination of meals. It's typically how we think of food.
Yeah. And then beyond that, once you've selected what kind of cuisines you want, you can kind of select the amount of times it should show up in your diet plan. Now, this is a very crucial thing because not everyone likes every kind of food, so this gives you that little bit of flexibility. And you can see Abhijit's preferences. And then last thing, just anything you want to tell us that we should consider when we're building your diet plan. And for Abhijit, it is probiotic foods that he would like to have. So when you finish this onboarding, you will come up on a screen like this that gives you a summary of your final things that you want to do about your diet plan. Will give you all the basic information about how the diet plan has been built, what days you want to look at it for, and then if you wait a little bit, it takes a bit of time, but because we're doing all that crunching for you on the back end, we build you a 7-day diet plan. Now I can look through all days and I can see what my yesterday's diet plan should have been, what this week is, and I can go through, I can look at breakfast, I can look at morning snacks. You know what, Abhijit, do you like this roasted chana and masala buttermilk?
Yeah, no buttermilk.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should just look at it. Okay, it's a little uninteresting. Maybe we should just switch it up. Yeah, doesn't like the taste, so we can give it a shot.
You got me. This allows setting and resetting not just at the entire plan level, but day level, meal level, food level. And then the system is continuously learning this, both based on what you're tracking and what you're explicitly giving to us as preferences.
And this is really designed around the fact that you don't need to go so deep into selecting what foods you want. We still want you to stay on track. So we're kind of giving you the ability to look at different options that would fit those same calorie goals, same protein, fiber, carbs, and requirements, but just a little bit of different, feeling that you want in your different meals. I think vegetable upma seems like something you...
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dokla.
Dokla.
That's the plan. It's 4 p.m.
So we've selected it. Now it's part of your diet plan. And you can see that your diet plan has just been updated. You can follow it. At the top, you'll see how many calories there are. Anything else, Abhijit?
Perfect. I think this is the greatest diet plan that you can find that sits and lives inside Healthify, makes you healthier day in, day out. Partosh, if your mic is live, this is the new diet plan that we're going to take live soon. Yeah, it's going to be part of the smart plan. Perfect. Coming soon, guys. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Guys, just hang around here. We're just going to look at the snap feed. Okay. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do this a little bit more faster. There is another way to figure out what to eat next. I'm sure all of you have seen Inception, so you understand how things work. You can actually plant thoughts in people's mind. Right? Typically what you see, what you talk about, kind of sits in your mind. And we talked about dhokla. I'm sure you're all craving for dhokla. You find a dhokla outside, you will eat it. So one of the greatest ways to then give inspiration to people is to show what other people are eating as healthy food around you. That pushes you way better than seeing a plan. Let's look at that. Can we get the phone on the sides? Yeah. Cool. This is your Snap inspiration feed. Any time of the day, any place that you are in the world, open the feed. It will tell you what people are eating around you that's healthy, right? So right now, we are looking at people eating soya chunks, deviled eggs, guava, all fun foods, all healthy foods. Maybe just let's look at what Bangalore is eating right now. So, sweet potatoes, yoga bars, we saw some of that. Ragi mudde, perfect, right? So if you are a local, this is what you want to eat. This is what you want to see. This is what you want to get inspiration by. And these pictures are good-looking pictures. If you realize your own feed of foods, it's half-eaten, not so great-looking. So what we've done with AI is we've been able to stylize these images so they can look good, make you feel good, and you want to eat these good things. But so there's a problem, right? Like I don't know how to make a ragi mudde with beetroot palya.
Yeah, I think maybe just try out making a recipe. I think that could help.
Okay, yeah. Scroll down. Let's see. Can you hit the generate recipe and see if it works? Yeah. While the recipe is getting generated, we can see what makes this healthy. If you can go a little bit down, right? It tells you about what's good in this dish, right? So that educates you on what's good. And there we go. Yeah, that's the recipe. These are the ingredients you're going to need. Scroll down quick. Yeah. Quite a lot of things. It'll take you about 45 minutes to prepare, cooking time of 75 minutes, and step-by-step guidance on how to make this food. So look around you, find foods that people are eating that are good foods, understand how to make them, get the recipes, make it yourself, eat, make yourself healthy. That's the story. Thank you. That's it? Yep. Thank you, guys. I have one more thing. Jayashri, when did we add this? Okay. So you don't stop at just the recipe, right? Like you obviously don't have stuff sitting at home to make ragi mudde with beetroot palya. What do? You get the recipe, you find the grocery list, you order it, and then we track it with Snap. We are here on step 1, we are on step 4. We're bridging the gap. We are coming to step 2 and step 3 with the best grocery ordering apps that you heard of. Swiggy, Blinkit, Zomato, we coming there. So if you want to have a quick preview of how you can go from the grocery list to a shopping cart on Instamart and get the things delivered in 15 minutes so you can actually cook it, talk to me separately. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Hello. All right, I've been asked to be snappy and fast because we're running out of time, so I'm going to make this as fast as possible. We're going to talk about our coaches. Yes, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Paritosh. I'm the new Chief Product Officer at Healthify. I've been here for 8 months now, but honestly, it feels like it's been a couple of years because it just feels so much like family, and it's been so amazing working with so many of you, and even people that have worked here in the past that have guided me through this journey. In this section, we're going to talk about our coaches. Coaches are extremely essential to the Healthify ecosystem. As you all know, we've built all of this great technology, but the one piece of the puzzle that is always missing with technology is accountability, right? Humans hold themselves accountable to other human beings. They want to feel a connection to somebody that will hold them accountable to their goals and will help them through that journey, build a relationship with them so they can go achieve the goals that they want to achieve. And that is exactly the role that the coaches that we work with play. We have 300 plus coaches who are working with 250 clients each, so there's a lot of work that they need to get done. They're exchanging millions of messages, doing millions of calls with users, and helping users lose more weight than they would have otherwise without access to a coach. On that note, I would like to now welcome one of our coaches that we work with, Ashley, who is part of our US coach group. Ashley, if you want to come up. So Ashley is currently working with a large number of clients, crunching a lot of data with logs from their snaps, logs from food, from weight logs, water logs, etc. She's talking to a lot of clients, like I said, and exchanging a lot of messages as well. Ashley, from your perspective, I would love to hear what part of your job do you love doing every day?
Definitely engaging with our users and seeing them progress over time, and specifically with not even just the weight loss, the emotional eating, the behavior around food, the chronic disease improvement. That's what really makes me happy.
And what are some things that maybe are not the most favorite things for you as part of your job?
There's always going to be admin work, right? But the tedious tasks, I think, are probably the most time-consuming. So if there is a better way to keep it organized and all in one place, all tidy, I think that would make things better.
Got it. And we hear this from coaches a lot, right? Coaches love talking to their clients, working with their clients, helping them achieve their goals. But all the admin work that goes into doing the records, doing the tracking, etc., is where it feels like so much, especially when you're working with 250 plus clients. And so we're introducing the next generation version of Coach Copilot. Coach Copilot is something that Healthify has built over so many years, where we're trying to make the job of a coach easier. We want coaches to focus on the human relationship, not so much on the data gathering, data pulling, preparing, etc. And as part of that journey, I'm going to talk about 3 key pieces today. One is how we're helping coaches with AI before they get on a user call. The second is how we're helping them during the client call. And the third one is what happens after the client call and how are we making the coach's job easier to interact with their clients through that journey. So before the coach call, we're using AI now to help the coach prepare for their calls. Summarize user history so they can quickly take a look at where that user has been, what their goals are, what the key priorities are for the next call, and then flag any trends that we've seen through the user data that we've gathered to be able to guide the coach better in preparation for the call. So if we can switch to the demo for a second.
The laptop screen, please. Phones can be. You can turn off the phone. Turn the side screen.
Cool. So this is our Coach Copilot, and now we have a new button for Copilot at the top right, where you can go initiate your journey for preparing for the next coach call. Can we go to Coach Copilot?
Right. So you walk through it.
So in the new Coach Copilot, now we have options where you can use AI to prepare for a call, draft a message, look at previous call summaries quickly, and then look at suggested next actions for things that you can ask the user to do while you're on the call with them.
Yeah.
Can we start with the first? Yeah.
I'm just going to demonstrate on how it works. So instead of coaches giving 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes of preparing for each and every call, which is grunt work, we wanted AI to do the heavy lifting so that coaches can primarily focus on suggesting users what should be the real solution for the problem. So I'll just click prepare for the call.
This may or may not be my real account. And I may or may not be trying to lose weight right now.
So as you can see, as soon as I wrote prepare for a call, I got a quick brief of what the user is, who he is, what's his primary goal, and now I get snapshots on like quick brief, their trackers, their weight tracker, sleep tracker, and everything, as you can see over here. See, weight, how exactly my weight looks like, is it stable, have I logged weight in the previous week or not, then other like sleep logs, steps logs, everything. So now this enhances coaches' efficiency and productivity. Now as a coach, I do not require to go through all different tabs in Coach Copilot, research about the user, spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just a prompt, and here it is. The entire summary is here in front of me.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Ashley, how do you feel about that?
I love it. I cannot wait. It's super exciting. It's going to save a lot of that admin time and allow us to spend more time with users.
Cool. Do you want to look at any other features?
Yes. So
for
adding
before
to
the call?
this, it also gives you options to ask follow-up questions. Let's say I say, how are you managing to increase protein intake at dinner? I can just click on the upcoming suggestions and the Copilot will help you answer those. It will help you dig deep into the client's profile and make it much easier for the coach to ask the questions and generate insights.
Nice.
I would show you one more feature. Now, generally a coach books one call, second call, and there are multiple follow-up calls. So now coaches need to take notes of the previous calls. Okay, what were the action items? What did I discuss in the previous call? So now Copilot is the agent which helps with that as well. I'll just click here and I'll go to previous call summaries, and with a single click, I'll get what I discussed with the client in my previous calls.
And this is really good for our engaged users, the people who want the notes after they finish each and every call so they can get moving on to their next goals. Specifically, I had a client who came in with bipolar disorder, protein malabsorption, and difficulty becoming pregnant. And I just know that she would love something like this. But good news is now she's actually pregnant. She's improved her protein absorption and has less of her bipolar symptoms. So she's going to do even better with this. I just know it.
Amazing.
And the best part next, you don't need to copy the messages and go. All you need to do is just draft a message, and we have the capability also. The draft message can be pre-filled in your text in OneConnect chat interface, which is our user and client and coach interface, and the message will be auto-populated there. Just use this feature as well. Messages, and here it is. This message is pre-filled, and I can edit it and press send, and the client will get this message. So yeah.
Great. I want to quickly move on now to what happens during the coach call. And so imagine if you can have access to RIA while on voice, while you're on a call with your coach. We did imagine this back in 2018 when none of ChatGPT or any other generative AI LLMs existed. Can we play the video from 2018?
Hey Anjan, how are you doing?
I'm good, but my routine's actually gone for a toss. I've just been traveling for work and I haven't got any time to follow my diet.
That's okay. Let me check out your eating pattern over the last week. Hey Ria, how has Anjan been doing in the last week?
Hey Kamla, Anjan has tracked 4 out of 7 days. His calories are 70% of his weekly target. His carbs and fats are in check, but his protein is at 55% of his target.
Okay Anjan, your protein seems to be a little low. Why don't you take more amount of chicken, fish and eggs in your diet on alternate days?
Yeah, Kamla, it's been really hard because of the travel. I've just not got any time. Do you think you can add those items to my diet plan, please, and just send me a new one?
Hey Ria, can you switch?
Cool. So that was us imagining Ria back in 2018 when none of these models or voice AI existed. But today that's possible, and I want to demonstrate how that's going to work. We'll have our, where's Ashley?
Ashley's there.
Okay, she's outside already. So Ashley's going to be on a call outside with a user that is also outside pretending to be me. Can we start the call?
Right. Here we go. We've started the call. Ashley would have received the call now. And then we'll have Akar, who will be talking as Paritosh, because Paritosh is standing here in front of you. And we're going to listen now. Anytime.
Do we have mic signal?
Hi, I'm Paritosh. I can hear you.
Awesome. Well, today I just wanted to check in on a few of your lifestyle areas. How is the nutrition going for you lately?
Diet is going good, but I'm having some issues with my protein intake. My protein budget is actually 100 grams, but I on a daily basis feel short on it.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Ria, can you pull up the nutrition logs for Paritosh for me?
Sure thing. I've got Paritosh's nutrition logs right here. Based on the recent data, his protein intake is indeed falling short of the 100 grams target on most days. For example, on December 3rd, he logged about 79 grams of protein. Let me know what specific details you'd like to dive into, or if you need help with any adjustments.
Thanks, Ria. Can you just let me know what his current protein goal is?
Paritosh's current protein goal is around 100 grams per day. The coach and Paritosh have been working towards consistently hitting that target, especially focusing on getting enough protein at dinner. If you need more details or suggestions on how to meet that goal, feel free to ask.
Thanks, Ria. That's all for now. All right, Paritosh, I remember that you are also vegetarian, so could we add in maybe a couple of eggs or some hemp seeds at dinner time?
Sure, I'll try to add some eggs during my dinner.
Awesome. We'll check in again next week.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. I see we have Anjan in the audience with a big smile, watching his vision come to life. So that was an example of how we can use AI while the coach conversation is going on to call upon data for the AI to be there to summarize what happened in the conversation and then to be able to follow up with the user after the call. So we're going to now quickly jump into what happens after the call.
Right.
What are some things that we can do based on the summary that we gathered from the coach call, and how can we help the user and the coach both based on that summary?
So as we saw, AI is doing the heavy lifting and coaches can focus on giving real solutions. So as soon as the call was over, a transcript or a AI-generated recap of that call will auto-flow into our OneConnect chat interface as a RIA message to the user as a summary of that call, and simultaneously it will also go to the user or to the coach. Now user can interact with this, ask questions. So we are just showing a sample. So as soon as I just tag RIA, and there are some auto-populated messages like give me high-protein dinner ideas, quick 30-minute healthy recipe, show my today's progress. So now RIA is there inside OneConnect as well, and I can ask RIA to do anything. So I'll say show my today's progress, and it will talk about that. Simultaneously, so whatever we discussed on the call, I can tag that summary again and ask insights upon what happened on the call and what did my coach suggest. So as you can see, now coaches do not require to send notes or summaries or action items. AI is doing that for you.
Yay. Awesome. So that's a summary of what we're doing with Coach Copilot with AI to enable our coaches better. But that's not the end of the story. The promise has to match with the experience that we're providing with users. Can we go back to the slide deck? And now I want to call upon Jayashree to talk about what we're doing on our design showcase.
Everyone hear me okay? No? Hello, can everyone hear me okay? Apparently my head's too small for the normal mic, so this is what I get. Okay, so we've seen a whole bunch of things today. What do we know? AI drives actions, coaches drive outcomes. But for millions who join Healthify, the first thing they see or the thing they experience is the app. And building that experience, well, let's just say every time we build something new, I know people in the Healthify room usually say, hey, let's just put it on the home tab. You know, every time someone says that, a designer somewhere quietly screams into a pillow, and I've been that designer way too many times. Because to the people who already rely on us, Healthify is home. Healthify is home to 1 million people, and as the world evolves and we add more and more new features to it, Healthify needs to evolve too, while staying familiar. And how do we do that? Is what I'm going to talk about today. Okay. Like any home, the entrance is where product meets promise. So the thing that we did, when a user walks into Healthify, we don't want to stop them at a gate. We want to give them or greet them with proof and value. So the first thing we did was redesigned our onboarding, and this is how we did it. Before we ask too much of a user, we introduce them gently to Ria with voice, not forced. This way, you know the app talks back, the app's listening to you and works for you. By the time you tell us your goal, we've already shown you why Healthify works, tracking, AI, and coaching together. So it's a warm welcome into Healthify that talks back. Next, at Healthify, we believe nutrition, weight loss is 75% nutrition. So very, very quickly, we introduce you to the promise of weight loss via nutrition by tracking what you eat. So before you've logged on to the app, you can snap your food. You can just connect your data to Apple Health, and immediately we get you on. What this sets a tone for is, by the time, I'm so sorry. Yes, sorry. So this sets the tone that logging can be effortless. Next thing, this is amazing. This is one of my favorite features. Healthify is not just a tool that we're not trying to make you believe in Healthify, we're making you believe in yourself. Let me go back, sorry. Right, so we introduced this tool right in the beginning called Future Me, where all you do is upload a photo of yourself, and the AI tells you what you can look like if you stick on with Healthify before you've decided to pay for Healthify or even do anything within the app. So that's your onboarding. So by the time you reach your Healthify home, you're like, heck yeah, this is the place where I want to be because that's what I can look like if I'm with Healthify. The next thing we did is the floor plan. What do people come to Healthify for? We've heard this many times today. To log food, learn about nutrition, get the answer to what should I eat, and find guidance and accountability. I just Marie Kondo'd the shit out of our app. 3 tabs, 3 things to do, nothing else, right? That's what you come to Healthify for. That's what you get. No need to be lost. The next thing, the living room. This used to be called our home. You know, in every house, living room is the place where all the action happens. And that for Healthify has been our home. So why home? What do people open Healthify for like 10 times a day? To track different things, to learn about different things. So here's what we did, and I know most people in the audience will agree with me. Today, our app feels a little bit like a billboard. It's kind of like trying to get you to do things that we want you to do. And you know, it's important. I get paid because of these billboards, so they got to stay. But let's flip the order a bit. What you come in for is more important than what I want you to do. So we flipped the order and said, hey, let's get you to do the 5, 6 things that are the most important that you open the app for, so you don't feel distracted when you're in the app. Next thing, we've done so much improvements with our logging system, added 6 different ways to track, but they all sit independently in different corners. There's a very neat solve. Let me track the way I want to in one multimodal system. And that's what we allow you to do now. And third thing, my favorite, active choices. As much as I love them, they're really long, and you can have a blindness to them at some point. So we said, how about we make them fun, bite-sized nuggets? So when you come into the app, if you don't have the time for it, that's all right. But whenever you're ready, you get bite-sized insights that you can dive into whenever you want. So we cleaned up our app, and we gave you things the way you wanted, not the way we wanted. This is my favorite place, too, the kitchen. Abhijit spoke about multiple ways in which we're helping people answer what to eat. So if you're like me, who plans for eons about their food, you have a place for it in your planned food tab in your planned meal section. But if you're like my husband, who's somewhere here in the audience, who thinks about food 30 minutes before it's time to eat and pretty much eats the same thing, that's when the inspiration kicks in. And I hope he uses it and eats more creatively and not just the same crap he eats every day. Last but not the least, our coaches. Today, our coaches do live in the app. They do have a tab, but it comes alive after you have a coach, not before you've experienced it. So we want to rejig the way we sell our plans. Don't buy a plan, then get a coach. Look at the coach. Look at their stories. Connect with them. Talk to them. Choose a coach, then buy a plan. This allows us to showcase our 300-plus coaches in the way that we've never showcased them before. Not out of anything, it's just how businesses work. But this gives them a place to shine and to connect with our audience. And once you have this coach, this is the tab where you connect with them, you find your path, and you find your guidance. And that is all I have for the design showcase today. I'd like to call Tushar up again to talk about the next big thing that we've been doing, and very, very excited about it.
Guys, once again, give it up to our product, tech, and design team. Ignite really pushes the boundary forward in what we're trying to do with AI, with tech and design, and that's the most important central part of our offering. That was our first 1 hour. And now in the next 1 hour, we'll talk about the two other more important. Remember, we talked about AI first, and now GLP is the other complement. So this next 20, 30 minutes will be about GLP, and the last 20, 30 minutes will be about how we are going global. So welcome to the GLP segment, the one key lever in eradicating obesity. So what makes GLP-1 so powerful? We know that finally there is a molecule that guarantees that you will lose up to 15 to 25% of weight, right? Clinically trialed, proven, known. It does so by reducing appetite, by stabilizing cravings. It really has a big function on your carbo-insulin model. It also, as you might have even seen with my RIA interactions, not a lot of my glucose have been spiking well above 130. It's because I have been on my own GLP-1 regimen of late as well, right? And you've probably seen me the slimmest you've ever seen me in any of the Ignites. And it improves your metabolic markers, A1C, cholesterol levels. We are still discovering all the other benefits that the GLP-1 drugs provide, I think, starting with obesity as the first piece. But it's not a magic shot. It's not something that completes itself without a companion solution, right? If you read the labels on Wegovy, on Mounjaro, and all the other brands out there, it commonly says that it's indicated in a combination with a reduced calorie diet and increased physical activity. So it's yin and yang, the GLP-1 molecules and a lifestyle intervention go hand in hand together. You might have even seen the World Health Organization as well issued a guideline talking about the same importance of that yin and yang coming through. So with this combination, we decided to take a bold step in April this year to launch our own Healthify RX program. We had a choice to make as a digital lifestyle nutrition provider. Do we work in parallel with GLP-1s, or do we work in collaboration with, right? And we decided to go in collaboration with, because we always want to be with science. And science has proven that this accelerates weight loss, and that nutrition and fitness is a very important part of the puzzle. So if we combine these two, we can have perhaps the best proposition to actually eradicate obesity at scale. And so we did. We added medicine adherence and tracking programs inside our app. We obviously expanded our care team of doctors. We used to have physicians for our medical programs on diabetes remission, for example, but we expanded our care team to include doctors who can prescribe GLP-1s. We specifically focused on key side effects that GLP-1s sometimes have, such as muscle mass loss, and we added muscle guard protocols to, in fact, increase muscle mass. And we added a GLP-1 kit that actually takes care of other GI side effects, GI relief, protein supplementation, nausea, anti-nausea effects, peppermint tea, etc. Try to include all of this. In fact, I'm pretty happy to say Sudarshan, I believe, is here from Low Foods as well. Thank you, Sudarshan. Thanks to you, we'll also be adding other low GI, high-protein foods as part of the GLP-1 kit that we offer as well. And lo and behold, we've had some amazing results with customers already. People like Dr. Anu Mehe, who's lost 25 kgs in 5 months, and not just that, but who have actually gained something, gained a lot of muscle mass and gained many other benefits. Before I say that, Sipun, can I ask you to just rise, please? One of our customers who's live here, guys, give it up to Sipun, who's actually lost 27 kgs in 3 months. Sipun, can we please hear your story?
I was 124 kgs and now I am 97 kgs. Most people think weight loss makes you weak. That's what I was worried about. And what surprised me the most? I actually got stronger while losing weight. But the doctors explained GLP-1s, how they reduce food noise, so I could focus on eating right. And that changed everything. It was practical and it worked. Routines that were so easy to follow. Just badminton, my walking pad, and rowing at home. With Healthify RX, I didn't just lose weight, I gained strength and confidence.
Thank you. Sipun, may I request you to rise one more time, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, our customer, Healthify, one of our first Healthify RX customers. And it's just amazing to see you so fresh and so fit. Sipun, hope we continue to work with you through the rest of your journey as well. Guys, customers like Sipun not only saw their weight decrease, as you heard from him, we saw that their muscle mass, instead of going down, as it did go down in clinical trials with GLP-1 companions, actually went up. Today, our median muscle mass across our nearly 1,000 early customers is showcasing that we are able to increase the muscle mass from baseline by 4.2%. So it's able to be an effective companion solution as it stands today. So what are the current challenges that we are seeing when we've surveyed customers at large? Both in India and the US, oftentimes people are giving us that those who are not interested, their biggest concern seems to be the side effects, which clearly a companion solution like ours can help solve for. Some of them are also finding it today a bit costly and unaffordable, but the side effect ends up being the biggest reason. I'm quite proud to say that, and excited to say and tell you that, after a long conversation, after seeing all these results, I see Vikrant is here, who's the Novo head here, Novo Nordisk head in India. That guys, Novo and us have decided to announce a key partnership. We've decided to join hands together to launch a patient support program, wherein we'll be offering the Healthify subscription to many Wegovy customers and checking this companion solution out in field. Please give it up to Vikrant as well. Vikrant, if I can please request you to rise. So the first of its kind partnership that we are doing in India, and we're very excited to have you on board. As a matter of, hope that for many other Wegovy customers out there, we provide them the best-in-class service program, that we create many stories like Sipun, where we not only help drive weight loss, but we drive increase in muscle mass and give the best patient support experience possible. With that, on something that doesn't happen that often as in Bangalore stages, can I request some key partners to join me on stage? So I'd like Viren Shetty, Vice Chairman at Narayana Health, representing the provider. If I can please have you on stage, Viren, I'd appreciate that. You've been a friend and you've seen this journey through the years as well. If we can have Dr. Ambrish Mittal, Padma Bhushan, Group Chairman of Endocrinology and Diabetology at Max Healthcare, who's joining us, I believe, from Thailand. Doctor, you're one of the legends in the world of endocrinology, and I'm so grateful that you're here, and thank you for taking the time, even despite your personal travels. And of course, can I please request, can you give me the phone, please? Can I please request Vikrant as well to join me on stage, representing Pharma as well. Viren, pleasure to have you. Dr. Mittal, welcome as well to our Ignite. You have been to 2 Ignites before. and so excited to have you as part of the third Ignite. You've seen really the journey. We'll just take a moment here to settle up on this on the stage and then start. Amazing. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. The pharma, the provider, and the practitioner and physician all on the same stage, coming together with a digital tech guy to helping, actually do this, solve obesity at scale. So Vikrant, I'll start with you. Everyone talks about ending obesity and eradicating obesity these days. We are certainly we've been on that mission now for a while. And with combination of pharmacotherapies like GLP-1 and with lifestyle programs like Healthify, is that actually possible, or are we just in our own echo chamber here, believing that such might one day be feasible? What is your view?
Tushar, I really loved your ambition, eradicate obesity. We have been actually talking about eradicating diabetes for 100 years. Being the powerhouse of protein chemistry, it's now 100 years, we are still trying to find that solution. I can only say that if we have to eradicate, finally, 2030 or even 2035, we would like to be part of it, and probably, hopefully, it should come from the Novo Nordisk laboratories. Now, that's part one. The second is that this is a problem, a disorder or a disease. It has a direct proportional effect with what you call it economic prosperity. We have only seen it growing. We have seen that hypertension has been controlled in many parts of the world. And good part is that we have also seen in the US with the latest survey of the Gallup that it decreased from 40% to 37%. So I think imagining or thinking about eradicating it, there is a possibility. There is a possibility, and when engineers join with the doctors, you can ignite certain kind of possibilities, and one of those possibilities can also come with the tech providers like you. So GLP-1 has been around, and we have seen the faster adoption of these GLP-1 because there has been a lot of synergy with diet and exercise to really reduce the obesity, also diabetes, where they really have got a very, very good beneficial effect. So I would say a very good dream. Reality, I would say baby steps. If we can march towards reducing obesity and reduce it by a couple of percentage every year, I think it's not a distant dream.
Amazing. We'll definitely work towards it. Dr. Amrish Mittal, moving to you, you're a legend in the world of endocrinology. You were one of the first to really start prescribing GLP-1s. You wrote this amazing book, which has now become viral certainly in medical circuits, but also in consumers on GLP-1 and treating patients with GLP-1. And also, you were one of the earliest clinicians to integrate Healthify into your obesity management as well as your endocrinology management program in the country. What convinced you to try it? What are some benefits you've seen? What are the patients really saying here about both GLP-1 and about digital therapies like us? Dr. Mittal, we can't hear you. 1 second.
Yeah.
Now we can.
Hi. Thank you, Tushar, for having me here. Yes, I'm a little away. I'm in Thailand right now. The important part about GLP-1 is that it's not a fad. This is for the audience. It's not a fad. It's a major scientific advance. There will always be some downsides, some side effects to every drug that is developed. However, having said that, no one can take away the science behind GLP-1. So that is one that people need to understand. It's not a quick fix for weight loss. It's a huge scientific advancement that allows us to control diabetes better, help our patients lose weight substantially, and as a consequence of that weight loss, and maybe in addition to it, also protect their heart to a significant degree, their kidneys, their livers, and so many other things. And it may not all just be body fat. We are still working on that aspect of how much of it is not directly related to fat. So we are talking of drugs that are changing the way we manage, the way we look at chronic disease. I think that's very important. So to that extent, I'm really, really enthused by the fact that Healthify, which I have been associated with in some form or the other for many years, actually took the step to be ahead of the curve. You chatted with me and we agreed, and I think it was a great step, because you cannot be in this space of, in your case, weight management, in our case, treating chronic disease, by ignoring GLP-1. You have to take it into account. The world is changing. We'll have newer and newer molecules in this direction. So anyone who's trying to now say, well, we're going to compete with GLP-1, do it the old way, it's not, will be left far behind in the race. Now, as a clinician, what are the challenges that I see when I manage these patients? The first is overall. Both these challenges are overall, and some of them are specific for GLP-1. So number one, overall, of course, we see issues with adherence in chronic care. Almost 50% patients stop their medicines over a period of 1 year. These are different medicines, blood pressure medicines, diabetes medicines, reduce them, stop them, become irregular, because they don't see any visible symptomatic benefit. So to go on taking the medicine, is just one of those things. And the worldwide adherence rates are poor. They're even poorer in India, where sometimes awareness and understanding in a certain segment of population is not that great. And what do doctors do? What have we been trained? We have been trained to treat disease. Okay, so we prescribe, and we judge the best doctor by saying, wow, his prescriptions are solid, his tests are impeccable, there is no over-testing, there's nothing, he writes a great prescription. The problem is, as we go on in years and experience, we realize that that's a very, very small part of the story, because patients are not going to take your medicine anyway. So the compliance for us is the biggest challenge, and that's where support systems like Healthify come in a big way. And it's not just about continuing medicine. It's also that our patients require a lot of support about diet, about lifestyle, which we do try to provide when we meet them. Some of us who are in bigger centers or have bigger teams do have educators and nutritionists who do that, but it's a one-off. And the patient will probably see the doctor once in 3 or 4 months if he or she is regular, and the nutritionist maybe once a month or maybe even less. So it's a challenge for us. Most clinicians in this country do not have the bandwidth to provide that hand-holding, that support that is required to keep your patients motivated in the weight loss journey or diabetes management journey or whatever. So I think this aspect of lifestyle, which is the key in managing chronic disorders, chronic non-communicable disease, we are not doing a great job. Physicians, we are not doing it. We're only advising once. And it's not translating into actual benefit the way it should. And the third important point here is that when patients come to us, getting data from them is a big challenge. Sometimes people tell us you treat only numbers. Yes, sometimes you do. In an asymptomatic condition, you will be treating all the parameters. It would be greatly helpful if all the parameters are laid out for us, everything is sorted out, all the graphs are there, and decision making is so much easier. I'm not wasting my time doing stuff that I really shouldn't be doing. So these three components make it very, very exciting for us. I think it's inevitable that any lifestyle weight management program will have to add on GLP-1 to its segment, in addition to the other benefits of that such a program like Healthify provides in chronic care. I'll make a couple more, Tushar, then I'll have to exit. And I think those important points are that in the GLP-1 context, what does a program like Healthify add for my patients?
Yes.
Why?
Please,
these factors were there in any case for Healthify me too. They were the same things, right? Adherence, support systems, data. Number one, people who join programs like Healthify, and this has been shown in the West, in Australia, in other studies, that they lose more weight. As simply speaking, the results become better. Right. So obviously, when you're investing so much, patient is investing time, energy, money, we should get better results. So we do get better results, and patients are on a continuous lifestyle support program. Number two, we certainly, they improve their health overall. It's not just about the kilos going down. Once you're on lifestyle with Healthify, you improve your health more than you would by just sort of simply reducing your weight, pounds or kgs. The second is very important, that they lose less muscle mass, and in fact may gain a little. So muscle mass is the biggest challenge, not with GLP-1 drugs, but rapid weight loss. So rapid weight loss, always you lose 20-30% muscle. Now, if you're in a really good program, you will lose less muscle. And there, Healthify provides that. Maybe you don't even lose any muscle. So that is fascinating, and we are finding that in patients who are following are happier. They are more positive. Their muscles don't hurt. Their mood is clearly better. And the last point is, the whole GLP-1 sort of program is a journey. It's not a drug. It's a journey. You have to go into that with your eyes open. Patients have to be convinced about the importance of lifestyle. Not only that, they have to be convinced about not playing with their medication themselves. And at some point, we would want, especially the younger patients, to gradually reduce the drug, go on a very low maintenance dose, maybe even go off it. You can't be on it forever if you're a 20-year-old starting treatment now, because it can be used. 20-year-olds also, we are doing that. And there, programs like Healthify are crucial. I think what Healthify does in that case is, because once people see weight loss, they get motivated. That's the window we have. You get in there, convince them more and more, give them better guidance, handhold them, and over a period of time, you will be able to reduce their dose to a very low dose, and in some cases, even go off it. So I think that is a great benefit, rather than what some patients try to do: take the medicine, stop it. They lost some weight, so you stop it. Then, I'm putting it back on, I'm going to take it again. All that is not good for our health in the long run. So these are the obvious things that came to my mind when you asked me to say a few words about Healthify.
No, thank you, Dr. Mithil. And I know that you took time out from a wedding to come out and take this call. So we'll let you go. And thank you for stating those few words. Just as a quick reaction, by the way, in the last decade of you observing us, I think it took us several years to show you about the power of what we do. You've seen us launch Smart Scale, CGMs. You've seen us launch RX. We're very grateful that you continue to utilize our services for all of your patients. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Guys, leave it up to Dr. Mithil. He may be exiting, but I want to shift the focus to Viren. Viren, you run one of the largest, most well-trusted provider networks in this country. In most hospitals, weight management is treated as an ancillary service, at least historically. But now, with the rise of GLP-1s, do you see this changing? And how can a provider like Narayana Health, partner with digital programs? I know that you were very early in partnering. You've experimented with many digital programs, but in India, they haven't really taken off in the provider integration. Could this be the opportunity that we are all waiting for? And what do you make of all of this?
So hospitals are the places you go when everything goes wrong. After a lifetime of bad choices, that's where you end up. Now, if you were to say, are hospitals the place where it would be the best oriented towards dealing with preventative medicine, towards preventing a lot of chronic disease? Not necessarily. But we don't see ourselves as a hospital, we see ourselves as a healthcare organization. And if we reorient our offering to say that we're in for the patient's health, then it's not about managing type 2 diabetes or managing back pain because of that, but addressing the underlying concerns, then you're right. So as Narayana Health, we have created integrated care programs where we are both an insurer, a primary care provider, and a hospital, so that all bases are covered. And as part of that, weight loss management is a major thing that keeps people out of the hospital. So while it does not directly help the bottom line to keep people out of the hospital, it is the right thing for us to do. And yes, we will consider working with the organization like Healthify Me as well as other providers who have the promise of keeping people engaged, living active, healthy lifestyles, and out of the hospital.
Thank you, Viren. I think the payer-provider integrated care model that Narayana presents, I think would be certainly fantastic. We look forward to partnering. I know that some of our friends in the north are looking to sign things, but we hope we can beat them to it. Vikrant, coming back to you, there is a lot of obviously excitement around GLP-1 molecules. Is this a miracle drug that keeps on giving beyond obesity? What are the other areas this can benefit in? And a quick fast follow to that is that there are concerns that the price is high. So is it like a class or a mass approach? Because if to eradicate obesity, we obviously need to get to mass. So how do we, where is this molecule going to go take us, and how do we get it to mass adoption?
Yeah. It's very natural people to believe and some of the patients to think that it is a miracle drug, but on the other side, it's not an excuse medication. It's not something that you can do anything and then you can take GLP-1 and that's the panacea in terms of. But on the other side, the adoption of GLP-1 in the market has been phenomenal. And you will be surprised to know the latest Harvard study data which has shown the adoption of GLP-1 is actually faster than the mobile. It just amazes me. You yourself showed that 1 in 5 in the US have actually used GLP-1. We have the data from Denmark. 1 in 10 obesity patients, they use GLP-1 within the 6 months of the launches of GLP-1. In India, it is just the beginning. 125,000 patients, and the kind of obese population, 250 million people and 350 million people who have got central visceral obesity. So while on one side, it's not a magic pill, but it is innovation. It is a breakthrough innovation. It's a watershed movement in the history of science. And of course, science is not alone. Along with science, there is a culture, there is a surrounding, and there is an environment actually in which human beings live. So we give that solution, or science as a solution, but on the other side, one has to also see that Healthify Me, players like Healthify Me, they have got an immense role to play. When I see these numbers, that more than 40 million people, they snap their food choices or food. And when we see 20 million plus people, they are actually taking the use of RIA. And one dietitian is actually able to counsel 270 patients. I think that's what, along with medication like GLP-1, can really trigger a phenomena which can go from what you can say class to a mass. When I see your number that 1 million people actually have subscribed, and you have different kind of models, 45 million people have actually taken this particular, you can say, Healthify Me app or subscription. I think these are the kind of figures which shows that a class, which was in the beginning in 2012, and you have gone actually into the progression in terms of the offering, it is really going to the masses. Similarly, from us, it got launched as a class product, for few. But I was very candid actually when we launched. Our first job as Novo Nordisk is to bring it to the soil. I'm an Indian, to get the innovation in India. And then from getting onto Indian soil, we have just now reduced the price so that it can go to masses, many more patients. And that's what we want. With patients who are suffering from obesity, they should get the access of the treatment. And I think this drive is just the beginning. I think the numbers have to go much more larger, and we will require this collaboration with players like Healthify Me to really go to from class to the mass. And I hope this synergy together will work in that direction.
Absolutely. Vikrant, you have Healthify's full support in making sure that our partnership is a wild success. Very excited to launch that today and hope we deliver results that matter and count. love the analogy of the cell phone one. I do remember the days when Airtel used to cost 15 rupees a minute, and today it's paise, but Airtel is still a dominant company that has changed the way we communicate. And I think I'm excited congratulations for being the pioneers in the molecules, and I'm excited about what we can do together. Just shifting very quickly to you, Viren, one of the things that maybe the world doesn't know as much is that you were at Stanford as well, back around the same time when I was. So you've really seen, the Silicon Valley AI tech innovation, and then you've come on and taken on the country's one of the largest provider networks. What are some of the learnings from your experimentations with AI and tech? Some of the learnings that we can incorporate that can make sure that this partnership is then a success indeed.
There is no one-size-fits-all. And AI is not going to magic away all your problems. The one thing, human problems, organizational problems, problems of technology are hard problems that have to be addressed with consistency and effort. Much like a lot of the patients that you have on diet plans. It's not that just with the nutritional supplement and taking the dose of the GLP, the pounds will disappear tomorrow. It is really hard work that you need to keep going after it day after day. The problems that AI is best suited to solve are ones, well, it depends on the sort of AI you're talking about. If it's image-based AI, then it is repetitive images that X-ray that technicians have to go through day after day and seeing the same thing again and recognizing patterns. With LLMs, what it is very useful in going is understanding context from vast volumes of data, which is used to, say, sample the number of people in an entire organization. And if you were to pinpoint exactly what the things you look for in those people to say that these will be the highest risk patients for you in that organization, and then go to the head of the, the CMO of that company and say, you know what, these people are going to be a problem for you tomorrow. Maybe we should enroll them in this Healthify program. So there are many, many applications that you could use AI for, but it's not easy. It requires a lot of effort as well as fine-tuning and programming.
Definitely.
And you have a very wonderful, dedicated team, I'm sure, was very excited to solve these for you.
Definitely. Randhir, Swapnil, I hope you heard that live. We have another GTM to counter. Vikrant, the last word as we flag off this partnership. Any message to the ecosystem and the team out here?
No, I think so. The figures which I saw, that 10 pounds reduction of your members, right? And then probably that time, the GLP-1s were not there. And I think what actually people have struggled with is their own self-belief, that can it be done? It has shattered many times. Average person, they try weight loss 4 times in a year. It's a yo-yo phenomena. It's something people start disbelieving themselves that it can be done. With the help of the GLP-1, it just rewires and remaps that yes, it can be done. The entire appetite comes down, and then with the help of Healthify Me, I think the changing possibilities with the AI, which you have really embedded in your solution, I think when this goes together, I think it will bring a synergistic effect. And I wish and hope that many, many people who are suffering from obesity, and we see almost 40% in urban population, they get the benefit of this Healthify Me, and we stand close together for making that difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you. Viren as well as Vikrant, thank you for joining us on stage. And I hope to partner and Healthify India one day together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
please.
Thank you very much. Please.
Yeah, and I'll stay up here. All right, guys, that was our healthcare panel. And moving on next, we have the last part of our Ignite event, which is on going global, running about 10 minutes late. So stay tuned, stay engaged with us. This has perhaps been the most exciting thing that we have done in this last 12 months. So I can't wait to tell you that story. If we can have my slides back. Perfect. So we've been always wanting to go outside Indian borders. Right? We, as you saw in that map, in the last couple of years, we've actually gone on to many other parts of the world. And actually, with partners specifically, we are excited about 12 upcoming markets that we're hoping to launch. While I cannot officially announce the names of those markets, hopefully this map gives you a reasonable sense on where the winds are blowing, right? So with various partners, these are the countries that I hope that next time we have Ignite, I can proudly announce what happened in all those customers and all those markets. But the one that got us most excited and most focused, more than anything else, has been, of course, the United States. Right? So December 30th last year is when we deployed our first app. Just before the New Year's, we worked really hard for it, and we went live. And just before that, why did we do that was the point that I was trying to make on this slide. It's because, of course, it's the largest market in the world, right? $200 billion health and wellness potential today. And while that is true, nutrition care is fragmented, reactive, and expensive. A single dietitian encounter costs more than $140, between 10 and 14 times of what it does in India. Right? Purchasing power parity is only 3.5 times. But why is it that that gap is so high? Is because most healthcare prices in the US don't match up on purchasing power parity to the rest of the world. Right? Healthcare particularly is expensive and is complicated. But there is a silver lining. Thankfully, insurance can take the burden off of customers. Right? Payers play a pretty big role. This is one of the only markets where registered dietitians can actually be reimbursed by your payer. In our business model, the single most expensive item is the cost of the dietitian. But if that can be catered to by the payer, by the insurance, then this can suddenly be so much more accessible to customers. Right? So this is why we decided to go launch in the US. It's the largest market. It's complicated and expensive, but insurance provides an opportunity. Right? Great. With that vision, we went there, and we launched our alpha in a small Airbnb where we literally lived together for a few weeks, understanding the market. That was alpha, sometime mid to late last year. We actually launched our alpha 2 as well in a similar fashion. We launched our beta, in fact, at the OpenAI office. We wanted to make sure if somebody's testing our AI capabilities, let it be from the source itself. Right? If they are comfortable, then we are pretty confident that we are doing a good job. Our initial coaching programs were tested by doctors at Stanford and Harvard because we wanted to make sure these are metabolic psychiatry experts that we wanted to really sort of pressure test our systems and solutions. And we did a lot of user diary studies across 15 states. We deeply engaged with customers, gotten feedback on our product, and we realized we had a lot of work to do. We had to rechange our UI UX significantly. We had to redo our foods database, redo the way our language is at. Our initial retention and engagement data in the US was lower than our Indian data. And over the hard work that we put in during those user studies, actually more than a dozen product iterations had to go through. But thankfully, we had the tools and understandings on how do we maneuver that before we finally got the product right. And of course, we put the team together as well, our leadership team that I'm excited to introduce to you shortly. And so, January 2025, we introduced finally our AI-only app, localized with US foods and US design. March 2025, we finally launched our registered dietitian available on chats. RDs like Ashley, who was there alongside Paritosh, today service thousands of paying subscribers in the US. Just very recently, we actually partnered up with Dexcom's Stelo CGMs, and we decided to provide them as add-ons as well so that we could complete the entire carbo-insulin model of weight management. And we got some love from our users there. So can we just play some of those stories right now?
I've been with Healthify for just over 6 weeks, and I have lost 17 pounds. Emily and I have a conversation throughout the day. I ask her questions, she gives me answers. Somebody there to give me guidance and to even hold me accountable. The AI is super convenient, especially when it can look at the portions and tell you exactly what macros you're having.
Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer.
Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I'm a licensed dietitian nutritionist.
My personalized science-backed approach helps you manage everything from autoimmune conditions to heart health to gastrointestinal disorders or overall general wellness.
With Healthify's tools, we'll track meals, habits, and progress in real time.
So it's kind of like having a little health partner in your pocket, guiding you every step of the way.
Do we have another customer story as well, or this is it? Okay, great. So we got some good user love. I think the thing that I'm most proud of is over the course of these months, we really labored to make sure that it shows in the numbers as well. Our initial day 3 and day 7 retention, guys, which are all signs of a good working product, were sort of near the industry average. 20-25% Day 7 was about 15 to 18%. Like I said, it was actually below where our non-resident Indians benchmarks are, the Indian expats who use our app, right? So we were a bit worried. Obviously, the strong benchmark is to be at 40% and 25 or 30%, which is what we had to really push our product towards. Today, the last month as well as last month, these stats are holding as follows. Healthify's AI-only subscription is holding at 41% day 3 retention and 35% day 7 retention. And when you add a coach to it, I think we're breaking all ceilings on what retention and engagement should be like by holding a 54% day 3 and a 52% day 7 retention. A lot of hard work, a lot of changes, a lot of iterations went into that, a lot of product thinking went into that to make that happen. So I'm quite proud of that. And more importantly, we're actually being able to deliver lower cost to outcomes ratio than pretty much anyone in the market. You know, at the end of the day, insurance like what? Risk-adjusted life years divided by dollars required, right? You have to maximize outcomes while minimizing the cost involved. And that's what we've been able to deliver. So our dollar to pound ratio of weight loss is a funny way of looking at that metric, but that really matters to an industry that is driven by insurance phenomena. And here is how we compare with some of our benchmarks. You know, Omada is about $160, Noom at about $5 per pound loss, MyFitnessPal is about $17 to pound lost. Our AI plus RD program costs $30 a month, and we're able to deliver 3 pounds per month of weight loss, making our ratio at an industry-breaking $10 to a pound ratio today. So we launched in the US, we've landed in the US, we've delivered stronger retention and engagement metrics than the competition, and we're delivering outcomes at a lower cost than is otherwise feasible today. However, the issue was that we needed to drive growth. Growth, revenue, GTM, these are not the stuff that we understand. We get product, and we've been able to deliver that in an exceptional manner. So in order to fast-track that, in order to grow that back, you know, we're very excited to have hired our US president, who's joined us only a few weeks ago. So may I invite on stage Randhir Veera. Randhir was actually the Chief Product Officer of Omada, and before that was Head of Product at Headspace. After helping us out as an advisor for several months, he's come on board on 1st of November. Randhir, very warm welcome to Healthify. Over to you on how do we take it from here.
Thank you, Healthify team.
One second. Thank you. Mike.
All right. Thank you again, Tushar and Healthify team, for a very, very warm welcome. It seems like only All right. Are we able to hear me at the back? Okay. So it seems like only a few days ago that I joined, and it still seems like I have a lot to learn. While this is the 10th Ignite for all of you, or many of you, it is my first Ignite, and I'm excited to be here. All right. Is that better? Yeah. All right. So quick thank you for a very, very warm welcome from Tushar and the Healthify team. 10th Ignite for Healthify, first Ignite for me. And it was so exciting to see all the presentations and the demos. So big kudos and clap for the team, please. So I want to just touch on a couple of things. We have a couple of core capabilities, and we've seen a lot of them today. But the 3 that I really want to focus on are the voice and vision AI. When we talk about a health coach in every human's pocket, this gives us a huge advantage for us to be able to be that health coach in every person's pocket using that multimodal interface. When I can show what's in the refrigerator and ask Ria, what should I make today? Or sometimes I take a large serving of items from the buffet, like outside here, and Ria is able to tell me even what sequence to eat that in, proteins first, as an example. Dietitians, we have the dietitians. We've always had dietitians, both in India and now in the US. And dietitians are a huge part
of the experience. You saw that with the way that our patients responded to the dietitian coaching, and that is a critical part and a critical ingredient of what we have. You see us using the AI elements with the Copilot with our RDs, our dietitians as well, which is super important. And the third and final ingredient is things like GLPs and devices like CGMs. We do not have a shortage of data. We have lots of data from all of our different wearables or CGM devices, but we do have a shortage of insights. And when you put that challenge of a shortage of insights together with the AI that we have, with the dietitians that we have, we are now in a position to provide our patients with valuable insights on what to do next, and also the accountability to do that next action. So how do we want to take this forward in the US, in what sequence? And so we want to definitely be able to go directly to consumer, because that is a motion that is super important. It's also a very expensive way to build a business. And so we don't want to rely only on that. We want to do a few more things, which is use our partnerships, and you saw some of those strong partnerships that we're building here. We also want to build on those partnerships in the US and globally. And so you'll see that with pharma companies, with device makers, and other partners who can help bring the people who can be helped by our program to bring them into our channels much more cost effectively. We also want to be able to work with payers. The payers in the US are a very different channel, and a very important channel, because they control who gets access to which different solutions and can often pay for them. So that becomes really, really important, and we'll talk about how we can use some of these together. And then finally, self-insured employers, which is, again, a unique element of the US system, which is most of the insurance that's provided in the US is provided through the employer. So a lot of the health plans, et cetera, medical insurance is paid by the self-insured employer. And so being able to get to them and have them understand what is the value that we provide and why they should sponsor the Healthify program is important. Each of these things can be challenging in itself, but what if we could get a few of these components to work together? As an example, what if we could get to a lot of payers at one time and get them to then pay for millions of covered Americans, let's say 150 million people, and what would that look like when we can advertise then to direct to consumer, but have 150 million people be able to get Healthify RD or registered dietitian visits for free? And that's what we will dig into a little bit more. So the key unlock that we want to have is to be able to advertise to millions of Americans, but have them or have their service be provided or paid for by the insurance companies. And I'd like to invite a couple of people up on stage to be able to dig into this. So I'll invite Tushar and one of our partners, Noah from Berry Street. So we'll come up to the stage here, please.
Welcome, welcome.
Sorry, I was getting one of these cool mics.
Yeah. Cool. You want to introduce and Berry Street also? Cool. Yeah. What angle you can do? And then
So I'd like to introduce Noah from Berry Street. Noah is the founder and CEO of Berry Street, and they're a potential partner. And since the whole market is pretty new to us here, especially for Healthify India team, we'd love to learn a little bit more from Noah and Berry Street. For a little bit of context, Berry Street has visited with over 100,000 patients in just the last year. They have over 1,500 registered dietitians working with them, and they integrate with over 1,000 health plans in the US. So that's some pretty serious scale, and we want to learn more about what they've done and how it's worked out for them. Just to give you, again, a sense of the scale, their revenue has doubled over 2024 in 2025. So They're doing something right at a very good scale in the US. Welcome to the stage, Noah.
Thank you, and it's actually my first time in India, so echoing Randhir's welcome, first Ignite, but also first time in Bangalore, first time in India. So just want to thank Tushar and the rest of the team for a really, really warm welcome.
Welcome.
So Noah, you are a second-time founder, and you started this journey with Berry Street only 3 years ago, and we've seen some amazing growth. Tell us a little bit more about why you started Berry Street and how you came up with this or hit on this formula of getting insurance reimbursed registered dietitian care.
Yeah, I mean, the backstory of Berry Street is kind of a classic founder story. It was a very personal one. So like many Americans, I have struggled with obesity really my entire life and really struggled with my diet even through childhood. And in my young adulthood, tried every fad diet you could think of and would maybe lose 10, 20 pounds here and there and inevitably gain it all back because I was on some crazy kind of crash, unsustainable diet. So by the time I turned 30, I was at my absolute heaviest, a very relatable experience for a lot of folks. I stopped stepping on the scale because I didn't want to see what that number was. And I felt really at my worst. And so I saw a doctor for an annual physical and again, a very American experience to see a doctor. They have very little time for you, and often not a ton of helpful guidance. The doctor, just like many doctors before him, told me, Noah, you got to lose weight. And in my head, you think, yeah, of course, like thank you, I know that. I'm trying pretty hard, but he said you should try seeing a dietitian. It's covered by insurance, I think. And Tushar and Randhir have both spoken about this, but in the U.S. we have a very strange system, and it's very reliant on insurance. We consume almost all of our healthcare through insurance, but just because we're using insurance to pay doesn't always, or even really usually, mean that it's free. In fact, we pay a lot for our insurance, even though our employers also foot the bill, or our government in many cases, and yet usually when we go to the doctor or any other sort of provider, the patient themselves bears a cost. So I didn't think too much of this doctor suggesting the dietitian was covered by insurance, but I tried it out anyway, and lo and behold, it was a good tip. I really instantly got a lot out of working with the dietitian and really, started to understand where I was going wrong in my approach to diet. But the sort of aha moment kicked in when I got my insurance bill in the mail. So, even when things are covered by insurance, the cost can be sometimes hundreds of dollars still to the patient. And my insurance bills kept showing up in the mail after my dietitian visits and always was $0 out of pocket to me. And again, for any of Americans in the room, that's a really odd experience in our system. So I said to my wife, there must be some kind of error here. Nothing's free in US healthcare. And so I did some digging and quickly learned, no, actually, dietitian care is almost always free under insurance because it's preventative, right? It's upstream of so many more expensive conditions and treatments. So to me as an entrepreneur, it was just shocking. Like, why is no one talking about this? There's so many people struggling with obesity just like me, but also nutrition is not just about weight loss. We haven't talked about it much today, but nutrition is an important input for all sorts of conditions, both chronic and acute. So that's really where Berry Street was born, was trying to, one, get the word out to people that, hey, you have coverage for a dietitian and here's why you should work with one, but also make it easier to work with a dietitian through insurance by eliminating a lot of the barriers to entry, both for patients and dietitians. And the promise of free is a very powerful one. So we've grown fast, as Randhir mentioned. We started under 3 years ago and have been lucky enough to serve a great deal of patients and grow really quickly. But excited to continue pushing to drive better outcomes and make the experience that much better for patients and dietitians.
That's great that insight resulted in such a big business. Tushar, you also have a personal story with health, which resulted in Healthify. Can you share a little bit?
Very similar, and I think the three of us probably share a thread there. But I gained 50 pounds at about 25 kgs the moment I moved to India. I thought this is just the desi food that I absolutely couldn't, eat enough of. I mean, I'm also a foodie at heart and very passionate one. My friends know it. And there's the lack of physical activity and needs, right? And I realized that this is not a one-way street. This is reversible. As again, someone who's struggled with obesity in his early childhood as well once and saw it again, I was able to reverse it back by tracking my nutrition, by talking to my co-founder at that time actually as my coach, and really sort of viscerally feeling that, wow, there is science to it and this is accomplished. This is imminently doable, provided you have the right tools and the right guidance. Obviously, there were no tools for Indian food, so I decided to build it. Initially in an Excel, which then turned into a website, then turned into an app, and we see what we see today. The principles, however, haven't changed, which is quantified data, coach guidance, and motivation and accountability as a service, right? Which is what Healthify has been trying to more and more efficiently do. That's been the early driver of the story, Randhir. So yes, absolutely, I resonate with Noah and congratulate him too in this journey. It's a struggle for many of us, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. I think, as some of you may know, my journey with health and wellness apps, with Headspace and with Omada also started as a personal journey. In 2017, I was having an annual physical conversation with my physician, and she showed me some charts, and they all looked great to me. They were all going up and to the right. And it was my weight, my cholesterol, fasting blood sugar, and that was the first time I realized that not all charts that go up and to the right are necessarily good. But the help that she provided was pretty useless. It was basically a piece of paper and said, eat less sugar, eat less refined foods, but not really anything that was personalized or tailored to me. And so I had to kind of string along my own solution and didn't know that registered dietitians were covered. So there was definitely a lot of stuff that was available, but I didn't know. So love the solutions that we have, and some of the demos today were amazing. So Tushar, you mentioned a lot of great technology, and we saw a lot of that on stage today. You also mentioned some of the challenges of getting growth going in the US. Mm-hmm. How are you seeing registered dietitians, reimbursed care as a way to unlock growth?
Well, on this panel, I'm certainly preaching to the choir. But you see, the customer acquisition cost in the US is high. It's a developed market. It's an efficient market. So CAC remains high. And to drive, in India, when we started our consumer growth journey, we had the first mover advantage. We were pioneers, and we were literally the first health app on Play Store and on App Store for the country. So we were efficiently able to scale, and the pandemic helped. But in the US right now, it's a competitive market. And to be able to drive LTV CAC dynamics there, we need leverage. And the leverage can be found in the form of RD, a registered dietitian, being reimbursed or being paid for by insurance. I mean, if the single biggest line item in our cost of goods sold can be covered by a third party, that to me sounds like a business model that can scale, that can imminently scale, that can imminently grow. So in this journey, we reached out to the top guys in the US, and literally the top three. And I'm so excited that we found Berry Street, we found Noah, and on a long walk at Central Park, we both engaged and thought about what if a great tech and product can meet growth rails and ability to reimburse via dietitian. I think it'll serve us both really good. So RD reimbursement as a way to almost unfairly move the LTV CAC dynamics towards growth rails is kind of the way that we are looking forward, and excited about continuing to partner with Berry Street and others.
Yeah, coming to you, Noah. You obviously have built and scaled a great organization that in 3 years is doing an amazing scale with lots of registered dietitians, over 1,000 health plans, etc. What are you excited about from a product and technology perspective with a potential partnership?
Yeah, by the way, is my headset working? Yeah? Sweet. So I don't need this. Yeah, something that I didn't mention before, a lot of people know us as a consumer brand, but a lesser known part of our growth arc has been partnerships. We've been very partnerships forward. We've enabled companies like Weight Watchers to offer dietitian care as a part of their overall platform. And so really excited, again, when I met Tushar and learn more about Healthify, particularly from the consumer product and AI perspective, because Randhir, you touched on it, but it required a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to lay the groundwork, kind of build the infrastructure to enable dietitians to bill insurance, enable patients to leverage their insurance. It's no simple feat. It's not like using Stripe to accept a credit card. And so we spent the better part of the last 3 years really perfecting that. And now we have the headspace to think about, okay, beyond just enabling this care to happen, how do we enhance it? How do we make seeing a dietitian even better through technology, through AI? How do we superpower the dietitian to be the absolute best they can be to practice at the top of their licensure, eliminate some of that administrative work that is not really worthy of their time, but also probably even more importantly, how do we leverage technology to make the patient experience better, right? Behavior change is really hard, and meeting with a dietitian is a huge, hugely impactful part of that. But you meet with the dietitian for an hour, maybe once a week, once every other week, but there's a lot of hours in between where you have to stick to the plan, right, and actually take action. And so have been so impressed by what the Healthify team has built to really kind of stick with the patient on a day-to-day, even hour-by-hour basis, and excited to see how we can leverage that to ultimately enhance the experience and drive better health outcomes. That's what we're all trying to do, is make people healthier and happier.
Thanks, Noah. Tushar, what are you excited about in this potential partnership, and why?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that it really offsets our customer acquisition. It really offsets our customer acquisition costs because there's an important promise that we can offer. So the LTV CAC dynamics will work out to be fantastic. Professionally speaking, I think it was very obvious to us after having ported the full stack and after having done experiments in the US that we need to either build or partner. Building the 1,000 health plans, 50 states licensure network seems pretty onerous. I think it's probably as onerous as Noah's team trying to build a RIA 3.0. So in our own domain. So it just makes a lot of sense to partner and have that capability in.
Yeah, I'm certainly excited about it. I've had the opportunity to use our RIA voice for the last few months, and I got in trouble with my wife. She says, "You seem to be talking to RIA more than you talk to me." I was smart and didn't respond on why that might be the case, but it's great to have such personalized advice.
I think that happens to many of Healthify team members over the last few months, Latif. So I hear you and I don't blame you.
Well, it's great to be able to bring that to over 100,000 patients, ideally, and even more as you continue to scale, and obviously to bring the Copilot to the registered dietitians as well. So thank you, guys. And with that, we end our panel and hand it back to Tushar to bring us home.
Of course. Thanks again, Noah, for joining us here, and excited to continue to explore partnership opportunities. Thank you, Randhir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, guys, that brings us towards the end of Ignite. We talked about all of our new product and tech innovations, both on the consumer side, on the coach side. We managed to release our RIA 3.0 today, which is RIA Voice Multimodal. We've announced that in collaboration with OpenAI, and hopefully more and more consumers are going to start to have access to it starting tonight as it rolls over. We talked about GLPs and about RX program. We launched our Healthify RX opportunity earlier this year, and today we've announced our partnership with Wegovy, with Novo Nordisk. I think that's been exciting as well, something we've been working for months on. And lastly, we talked about our ARC in the US. That's where I've spent a lot of attention and time. Some of my friends here, that I've spent every 10 days in the month in the US over the course of the last 1 year. And it's been powerful and empowering, actually, to be able to deliver results there. It's something we wanted to do for the longest time, but I think AI is the big long pole we needed to really cross that boundary. And I think the thing that has taught me is that we need partners. We can't do it alone. Just like with Novo Nordisk in India, excited to see what us and Berry Street can do and pull off in the US. I mean, they are the top 3 in RD reimbursements. We're hopefully the top 3 certainly in AI tech capabilities in the world. And if we partner together, come together, maybe there's a lot more there that we can do. So as I end this Ignite, and as I end my, conclude this 14 years at Healthify, just wanted to, along with all of you, just talk about that, it's amazing to be able to stand on a stage and still talk about the same vision that we started off with, which is, can we eradicate obesity once and for all? And we thought this is going to be a forever vision, but looks like now it's got a deadline, which is not too far away. Here's to doing that by putting a health coach in every human's pocket. We've certainly did that with 45 million Indians. We're excited to do that with Americans and then with world citizens. Right? So as we look forward, I would almost want to wager that the next Ignite is very likely not to be in India, but some other part of the world. It's time to ignite beyond borders. And what started off as a humble experiment to count calories, sitting in Bangalore over some Excel sheets today, is now managed to do that for millions of users, and hopefully we'll do that for every human being on this planet, sometime not so far. And here's to basically day one all over again, for all of us at Healthify, as we stare at this massive 3 billion population. 45 million seems a lot, but in front of 3 billion, it's definitely day one all over again. So thank you for joining us as our 10th Ignite on my 5,131st day, and all of our day one yet again. With partners, I'm sure we'll achieve our mission. Thank you all for being here for this Ignite. With this concluded, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to join us outside for some